Boom shakalaka, today's video, I'm going to be answering the $1 million question. When should you buy Bitcoin? Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're going to be answering the oft-asked question, when should I buy Bitcoin? Now, particularly after Bitcoin has broken below the 200 weekly moving average again, this yellow line, it's broken out of this bullish trend we've been in for a couple months right down here. It's fallen down from $70,000 to about $20,000 over the past 6 months. A lot of people have lost faith in Bitcoin, and a lot of people are asking, Bitcoin, I don't know, is it good right now? Should I buy it right now? And inside, while I'm screaming yes, well, there's a lot of things that go into it. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at that and actually answering that question for you. Now, for those of you who don't have time to watch the whole video, the answer to the question, when should I buy Bitcoin? Well, the correct answer is 10 years ago. However, the second best answer is right now, and I'm going to show you why if you stay tuned. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Come join us over on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Push the like button now. It should be no surprise. Bitcoin price has fallen off over the past couple days. We have these lows, it's not looking great there. It's come all the way down from $70,000, broken out of this bullish trend we've been in, broken below the 200 weekly moving average. People aren't feeling good about it. And if you want just the simple answer, there's an indicator that pretty much predicts the bottom every time, and there's an indicator that pretty much predicts the top every time. What's that one? Well, the one that picks the top every time would be the pi cycle top indicator. Look at this. Top, 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 top. 4 times in a row, it picked out the Bitcoin top. Well, guess what? There's also a pi cycle bottom indicator, and we can actually see that. That's this blue line right here. It actually just flagged on July 13th. That was the pi cycle bottom, the crossing of these two lines right here. So we actually had a bottom indicator in there, but there's a lot of other evidence too that I want to go over as to why now could potentially be the very best time, like generational Bitcoin buying opportunity. You have to just tune out all the noise, all the people talking about recession, all the people talking about war and prices crashing and all this stuff. You just have to tune it out and just actually look at the data. So that's what we're going to do today. So to begin with, a lot of people are scared about Bitcoin price crashing, but if we look at the data, because this is on the blockchain, turns out bids on the Bitcoin order book on Coinbase are stacked from $17,000 and below. A lot of people are hoping to buy Bitcoin lower. You can see this right here, a very dark yellow area below $17,000 all the way down to $10,000. The last time the order book was this skewed to the bid side was the grind up from the March 2020 lows. You can see all the way down here. Look at that. That was a price floor. That was the bottom Bitcoin price as far down as it went before it 20x'd. So we were looking at something very, very similar right here. And we have had some major capitulation events going on recently. This was back in July, the 90-day Bitcoin denominated realized losses over 3 million, 3 signals in 11 years. Take a look at this. Back there, what we just had, and then we had pretty much the bottom in 2019, and we had the bottom in 2012. Huge realized losses. Not only that, Tor Demeester tweeting back in July. He's saying, calling my attention to it will no doubt jinx my lucky streak, but for what it's worth, here are all my Bitcoin-related calls for market capitulation. So, around July 9th, when we had the massive price fall down to $17,000, he said, down 73% from all-time highs. Based on how I feel in my body right now, awful, I'd say this is Bitcoin capitulation. Now, does capitulation mean the bottom? No. But capitulation go hand in hand. They're bosom buddies. They're like Tom Hanks and that other dude in that 80s TV show. Now, also, he called down here, capitulation. He also called down here, capitulation. He also said right here, Bitcoin fundamentals have not changed, only price and sentiment did. Hashtag capitulation. So, basically, and it is something that you can feel, because I remember when we were down around $17,000, that was the same thing I was feeling when it plummeted in November from $6,500 to $3,000. Same exact feeling in your gut, but likely being capitulation. Now, if we take a look at this chart from Willy Woo, the bear market accumulation visualized. It's one from my private collection. Use it at your own discretion to time your generational bottom entry. Listen to what he said, generational. bottom entry. So basically we have these large capitulation events, which we were looking at in this chart here, which Tordemeester also commented on. And around these capitulation events, we have bear market bottoms. Now, during bear market bottoms, there's a lot of very bearish news. Everybody's saying Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are worthless. They're going to zero. Stay away from it. Risky assets. Terrible. All these different things. Well, during those times right around there, that's when it's an amazing buy opportunity because you're getting it at rock bottom prices. Nobody else wants it except the smart money. And we're in that same area right now. As a matter of fact, just recently, the Bitcoin illiquid supply shock just had a massive spike. Hodlers have gone on a buying spree unlike anything seen since 2018. Yes, that's right. There's a fixed amount of Bitcoin. It is not like printed money that there's an infinite amount. Bitcoin, there's only 21 million. About 5 million have already been lost. So based on my subtraction, that equals about 16 million Bitcoin for everybody in the whole entire world. And look at this. Huge spike. A lot of people are buying up Bitcoin and putting it into cold storage. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at the 600-day realized risk, given its scarcity and known inflation rate, is the price of Bitcoin predictable in any way? Now, if we take a look at this 600-day realized risk, we have this histogram right here. Now, every time this histogram crosses below this line right here, we have this red bar. Look at Bitcoin price in black here. Bottom, okay? Now, the same thing. From top to bottom, we have this red line. Look at this Bitcoin price, bottom. Look at this histogram from top to bottom, Bitcoin price, bottom. Look at this. We're going top to bottom once again. Red line, Bitcoin price, bottom. I just solved that one for you. But, I mean, everybody who's talking about Bitcoin price going lower, and yes, it could go lower. I mean, I can't predict the future. I'm not a financial expert. As a matter of fact, I'm not, I just make videos. But I have been following Bitcoin and making daily videos about Bitcoin for the past 5 years. So it is one of the things that I look at more recently or more often than many other things. But if we take a look, would you want to bet against a 12-year log parabola support? So here's the thing about being long-term bullish but also waiting for $10,000, which is what everyone's doing right now. Everybody's like, yeah, it's going to the moon, but I'm going to buy it at $10,000 when it crashes. Everything has a probability, so of course, anything can happen. But if it does, it breaks 12-year log parabola support. So personally, I will not be eager to buy down there for the long term. If it breaks that support, things are probably broken for Bitcoin. May not be the time to buy if it does go down there. And everybody's thinking, but this time is different. If we take a look, extreme network capitulation, we've been talking about a lot about capitulation. That just means money changing hands from dumb money to smart money. This is basically, capitulation is when the people who bought at the top sell to people who buy at the bottom. That's all capitulation means. Well, if we take a look, we are in the same territory where we were the entire 2019 bottom and the 2015 bottom. But this time's different, right? We have recession, we have war, we have inflation. This time's different, for sure. Well, if we take a look at this chart right here, I like this one. I've been waiting for this one to get as low as it is, the CBBI.info chart. Now, this takes a look at a whole bunch of different metrics that we have for Bitcoin and combines them all into one chart. This takes a look at the pi cycle top indicator that we took a look at, the Ruppel-Nuppel ratio, the Rodel ratio, the Puel multiple, the 2-year moving average, the Trollo trend line, the MVRV Z-score, the reserve risk, the Wooble top cap, and Bitcoin search term on Google. Now, combining all of those things, right now, we're at 10 today, okay? Now, fast forward all the way back, or I guess that would be fast rewind, all the way back to 2011. Guess what? The bottom was at 10, exactly where we are right now. However, in 2015, it did go down to 2. In 2019, it did go down to 3. So there is the possibility that it could go lower. It certainly could. But the likelihood of that happening, pretty unlikely. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin is looking like it is poised to return to higher highs even sooner than anyone is expecting. So if we take a look at Bitcoin on an adjusted log time, 10.2 log periods between the touch of each top curve. So we see same distance, but it's logs, so they're a little bit closer. The next curve meets at $160,000 to $180,000 by December of 2023. That's right, a year and a half from now, Bitcoin price could be, say like 10x from where it is right now. That's a pretty decent return on an asset, wouldn't you see so? But also, if we take a look at this, right now, a lot of altcoins or stable coins are sidelined. Well, as stable coins come back into the market, that pushes the price of Bitcoin and altcoins up higher. They have an inverse ratio. Every time one is high, the other is low, and when one is low, the other's high. So as we see more stable coins deployed into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, that further pushes the price up. And if we take a look at where altcoins are right now compared to where they were previously, we can see this nice little fractal setup where we have a big spike and then a little hump. And basically, once we break past there, well, then look what happens. Price takes off. As a matter of fact, for Bitcoin, based on this projections of the fractal models of degressive circles, as we can see here, it lined up very, very nicely in these circles. Well, guess what these circles are predicting? Early 2023, $35,000. So maybe not that much happening this year. However, early 2024, $450,000. Yikes, right? And then early 2025, coming back down to a bottom at $140,000. But this is also echoing what we saw in this chart right here. Roughly $200,000 by December 2023. What's right after December 2023? Early 2024 with $450,000 if we don't get wicked off. For sure, that could possibly happen. So that being said, I think that should answer the question for a lot of people. When should you buy Bitcoin? Yes, 10 years ago. Best time to buy it. If you have a time machine, you can go back buy it 10 years ago, do that. Every day and twice on Sunday. But if you can't, right now is probably the next best opportunity you would get, period. Okay? So that's all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.